With us now from Las Vegas is Reince Priebus, the chairman of the Republican National Committee. Good morning, Reince. Good to see you.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
We see Donald Trump is still the front runner, not only nationally, but in many of the leading caucus and primary states. Are you now expecting a brokered or contested convention?
Boy, this is a hot topic. You know, I highly doubt it. I think most likely we'll have a presumptive nominee by mid-April, end of March, but probably mid-April. And you know, it's because the way the primary rules are set, it's pretty difficult to get to a contested convention. But certainly, if that happened, we'll be prepared. But it's highly unlikely.
So, was there a dinner where you discussed this with a lot of other Republicans about how to deal with such a convention?
Not really. I mean, the idea that I would call a meeting at a public restaurant in Washington, D.C. to discuss the idea of engineering a brokered convention, which you can't really do, it either happens or it doesn't, is ridiculous. And so this was a routine dinner that we do every month, and I'm a part of it. And in 20 minutes in the 2-hour meeting, people were asking questions about primary rules, which would bore all of your viewers to tears if I got into some of it. But really, it's a bunch of nothing is what it is.
Well, but I beg to differ. Primary rules, as you know, matter a great deal. You a lot of them for the 2012 election. Many people would argue that Barack Obama is president of the United States and not Hillary Clinton because he understood the primary rules a lot better than her.
Because of what?
Because of primary rules and how to win in different primaries.
You're saying Hillary Clinton lost because of their primary rules?
What I'm just saying is you just said primary rules are not very important, but they're clearly very important.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, of course they're really important. But people asking questions about how does the winner-take-all primary work and what happens on Super Tuesday and how many delegates are awarded on March 1st. I mean, those are innocent questions that normal political people ask. It's not a meeting to discuss how we're going to overthrow the whole process and take over a convention. That's absurd, and I know you're doing the right thing by asking the questions. I'm not opposed to that. It's just that particular narrative is just ridiculous.
May I ask just one question? Is there,
yes,
with some of the comments that came after Donald Trump made his comment about banning Muslims from coming into the country temporarily, is there serious discussion among people in the party, your party, that you're chairman of, who believe that he would be disastrous for the party and therefore they must do something to stop him from winning the nomination? How serious is that conversation?
Not with me. I'm sure other campaigns are trying to figure out how to win the primary, but I mean that's their job. That's why we got 13 candidates up there last night, and they're all trying to figure out how they're going to be the nominee of our party. I think it's early. Clearly, we have a front runner, but you know, I think even Donald Trump would tell you that it's early, and that I don't think anyone's taking anything for granted right now.
Okay, without talking about the timetable, are there things that come out of his mouth, Mr. Priebus, that sometimes you're sitting there with your mouth open, shaking your head, going, boy, I wish you wouldn't have said that?
Not particularly. I mean, you know what? I've been through this. I've been through this before as well. I mean, 4 years ago it was the same thing. I remember, and I'm not just saying this to skirt the question. I'm just telling you that 4 years ago I was in the same place, and people were saying we're going to have a contested convention, and then it was Herman Cain, and then it was Newt Gingrich, and then it was Rick Perry, and lo and behold, Mitt Romney won and then it was reversed and Santorum. So I mean, I've been through this, and my job is to make sure that we've got a much better, far more competent national party when it comes to the ground game, the data operation, the turnout, the registration. I mean, a lot of boring mechanics, but really at the heart of what a competent national committee needs to be, and that's my job, and that's what I'm focused on.
After the 2012 election, you called for the most comprehensive post-election review in the history of any national party. You did an autopsy of why your party lost. I went back and looked at some of the findings specifically on demographics. And your own report said it does not matter what we say about education, jobs, or the economy. If Hispanics think we don't want them to be here, they will close their ears to our policies. Is that still a concern of yours today?
Well, sure, but part of our problem as a party was that because of the way congressional districts are aligned and state Senate and state assembly districts, I mean, the truth of the matter is if you're not in on a daily basis in serious Hispanic and black communities across the country, then showing up a few months ahead of time isn't going to solve the problem. And what you saw in 2014 was the beginning of a new Republican Party where we almost won the Hispanic vote in Colorado. We got 28% of the black vote in Ohio. And it was a combination of, yes, being good on the issues, but it was also saturating communities with Republicans that are offering a different vision, better jobs, choice on education, and that works. That's what I'm talking about. People can write all the books in the world about messaging and how to do a better job, but if you don't actually have a conduit in the community delivering that message, it's not going to change. And so that's really what that Growth and Opportunity Report was all about.
All right. Thank you very much, Reince Priebus. Long way till November. Lots of time to get the messages out. Thank you, sir, very much.
You bet.
One of the candidates was heard